Welcome to the Underground, the Steel City Underground, the black and gold standard for Pittsburgh Steelers coverage. Now, here's your host, Joe Kuzma.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the cheat sheet edition of the Steel City Underground podcast. My name is Joe Kuzma, and as noted, this is the abbreviated quick hits fast facts version of our podcast, just to catch you up on some injury reports, where and when and how to watch and or listen to the Steelers game this Monday night. Yes, coming to you a little bit later in the week as per usual. And again, thank you, everyone. Had quite a few people wish me a happy Thanksgiving, and same to you, the extended holiday break here. And everyone's got you had to suffer through the Dallas Cowboys and all of that, Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. And now you had to suffer through Sunday's games, watch the Cleveland Browns at home defeat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in overtime. You saw the Bengals win on the road and against the Titans, and also saw the Ravens drop one in Jacksonville. Wow, that was a hell of a game, huh? Jaguars come back and win that game by a point, 28-27. So just some quick news and notes around the AFC North. You have to wait until everyone else is over with everything, until Monday Night Football, where the Steelers are headed to Indianapolis to face the Colts, the 4-6-1 Colts and the 3-7 Steelers, as mentioned in the pregame episode. These teams are somewhat evenly matched kind of coming into this one, so check out that show, which just dropped a day or two back. Got a little bit more in-depth analysis there as per usual, where I'm just going to run into, there isn't much of an injury report, to be honest. Colts haven't ruled anyone out for this specific game as of now, whereas the Steelers, and as to no surprise of anyone, Ahkello Witherspoon, who has been dealing with the hamstring injury, he's out for this game. Jaylen Warren also ruled out, backup running back, and we'll see what the Steelers end up doing. If they spell Najee Harris, or they just keep giving Najee Harris some more carries in this game. But otherwise, everyone else is a full go for this one, and we'll see what happens. Jaylen Warren it kind of sucks for him, undrafted guy that he makes the squad. He's starting to really kind of sink his teeth into some meaningful playing time, making some impactful plays, and the Steelers offense could definitely use that and off the table. So we'll see what ends up happening. Of course, we know some developments in Indianapolis. Jeff Saturday became first-time head coach anywhere. Somebody's like, yeah, hey, coached in high school. Okay, I'm supposed to count that as experience. Come on. There's high school programs out there where I could go coach like right now. They need somebody. They need any warm body that's willing to volunteer and help. I was talking about it like the college and pro level, okay? Jeff Saturday, first time anything, 1-1 as a head coach. So we're going to see what ends up happening, how he's prepared this team. Of course, when you have changes like this and you get different personnel and different things that are changing, to see how the players respond. And so far, the Colts, again, 1-1, and you take a look at who they've played and everything like that. And the same thing with the Steelers. They look like they're evenly matched teams, and quite frankly, they're kind of at that point, with the exception of, of course, Matt Ryan, who leads them with over 2,400 yards passing and 10 touchdowns. He's a veteran quarterback versus still rookie Kenny Pickett, still kind of getting into his rhythm here, I believe. Hasn't turned the ball over in the last couple games. Knock on wood, you're still going to be there. 1,426 yards on the year passing with 3 touchdown passes. They're the respective leaders of each of their offenses. Pat Freiermuth leads the Steelers offense in receiving, 44 receptions for 482 yards and a touchdown, and Najee Harris 148 carries for 550 yards and 3 touchdowns. Their counterparts with the Indianapolis Colts, Michael Pittman Jr., 67 catches for 678 and 1 tutty. And you've got Jonathan Taylor, 151 carries this season, 693 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lifetime, the Steelers, all-time, I should say lifetime, right? Maybe beyond my lifetime. All-time, the Steelers lead this series with the Colts 25-6. Regular season, they lead 20-6. At home, the Steelers lead 13-2, and they also lead on the road 7-4. They've been quite successful against the Colts over the course of these franchises' existence. In the postseason, they've won all 5 of their games. They're 5-0 against the Colts, even with the Big Ben shoestring tackle. So that one's been popping up a lot over the last week, of course, as you would probably expect it to, with this game on deck. And of course, too, the Steelers have won each of the last 7 games between these two franchises. The last game, of course, the Steelers won at home 28-24. That was on December 27th of 2020. The Steelers' last game at site, Lucas Oil Stadium, November 12th, 2017, they won by a field goal, 20-17. Mike Tomlin, 157, 92-2 in 16 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers, is 7-1 against the Colts. And of course, I already mentioned Jeff Saturday, interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, 1-1 in his first season of action as an NFL head coach. So Monday night, 8:15, Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium, 67,000 capacity and field turf. That's going to be on ESPN. I hear that you could probably catch this game on the old NFL Plus or whatever too. Just make sure you're not waiting until 8:15 to try and figure these things out. Of course, Joe Buck with the call, Troy Aikman, the color guy, and Lisa Salters is your field reporter. This will be heavily covered on satellite radio, so if you have Sirius XM, the Steelers call on 81 on XM, and the app 226, internet 826. The Colts call 83, 225, and 813. There's also the national broadcast that's on NFL, Sirius XM NFL radio. That is channel 88. That'll be covered by Westwood One with Kevin Harlan having the play-by-play, and Kurt Warner with the analysis. And Kurt Warner also has a good 30-minute or so clip on YouTube if you want to see some really great film breakdown of Kenny Pickett. And Kurt's quite impressed with Kenny, so check that out if you just popped into my brain because I was finishing it up just the other day. So, of course, if you're able to, the Steelers Radio Network, you want to catch some of the stations, the 48 affiliates that are available, head on over to steelcityunderground.com. That's already been posted on our cheat sheet article version of this podcast. Bill Hillgrove with the play-by-play, Craig Wolfley with the analysis, and Missy Matthews and Max Starks providing your sideline information. Referee for this game, it's an old stalwart, Bill Vinovich, so we'll see how that ends up turning out as well. Just some quick notes from the Steelers and the Colts. Kenny Pickett passed for 265 yards and a touchdown, no interception. He had an 85.9 rating in Week 11. He has 25-plus completions in 3 of his past 4 starts. He aims for his 4th road start in a row with 25-plus completions. Najee Harris, season high, 116 yards from scrimmage. First career game with 2 rushing touchdowns last week. So in the stead of not having Jaylen Warren, we'll see if Najee can keep this going. I'd like to see him get involved in the pass game as well. That would be pretty nice. Deontay Johnson has 5-plus catches in 13 straight road games and 5-plus catches in 38 games since 2019. That's the 5th most in the NFL. He had 8 catches and 74 yards and a receiving touchdown the last time these two teams met. And rookie wide receiver George Pickens, he led the team with 83 receiving yards and had his 2nd career receiving touchdown last week. He's looking for his 3rd game in a row with a touchdown. And we mentioned Pat Freiermuth just previously. Freiermuth tied his career high with 8 catches and 79 receiving yards last week. He has 50-plus receiving yards in 3 of his past 4 and aims for his 3rd in a row on the road for 50-plus receiving yards. He's 3rd amongst AFC tight ends in catches and receiving yards. Obviously, first on that list is Travis Kelce, who just continues to be a world beater. TJ Watt had his 6th career interception last week. He had 2 sacks and a forced fumble in the last meeting with these teams, and he's looking for more. He has 12.5 sacks in 10 career Monday Night Football games, so he's ready for prime time. He's looking for his 3rd game in a row on Monday Night Football with 3-plus sacks and 6th in a row on Monday Night Football with a tackle for loss. Alex Highsmith, career high, 9 sacks this season, and he looks for his 3rd in a row with at least a half sack. Cam Hayward had his 4th sack of the season last week as well. And Micah Fitzpatrick looking for his 4th game in a row with a pass deflection. I know, not the biggest statistic there, but the guys getting to the quarterback, that's going to be key to this game because Matt Ryan completed 23 of 32 attempts for 213 yards last week. He aims for his third in a row with not turning the ball over, which hasn't been the case with the Colts team that ranks very low in turnover differential. They are 31st in the league at -8 on the season, whereas the Steelers are 16th with zero, with a flat zero. So the Steelers last week, on count of a couple of splash plays, have kind of just evened the mark there. Jonathan Taylor, running back for the Colts, rushed for 84 yards in his third TD of the season last week. He looks for his third in a row with at least 90-plus scrimmage yards and a rushing touchdown. He has 75-plus scrimmage yards in 3 of 4 home games this season. If you ever read The Wire that comes from the NFL, and we have it over at steelcityunderground.com if you want to look, there's a lot of abbreviations and just punctuation where it shouldn't be, and it just drives me absolutely bonkers. So apologies for just being all over the place. As happens when I'm running solo here, but just rest assured Jonathan Taylor's a beast, okay? Get that quick swig of water. It's his rapid fire radio right here. Michael Pittman led the team with 6 catches for 75 yards in week 11. He's looking for his third in a row with at least 6 catches and 50-plus receiving yards. And Paris Campbell is looking for his third in a row with 5-plus catches, 65-plus receiving yards as well. So Colts have a couple of, it's kind of like a bunch of, jack of all trades, master of none type players on their team, and that's why I say that they're fairly evenly matched with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot else to cover on here. When I'm talking about quick hits, there's nothing on the injury report. This is on ESPN. You might be able to catch this on NFL Plus, or if you're in one of the 2 local markets, Indianapolis or Pittsburgh, it might be on some local TV for you if you don't have any way of accessing ESPN. Don't go looking for it on ESPN Plus. That is a completely different service than regular ESPN. And of course, there are the plethora of radio options in the Steelers app at Steelers.com available at your disposal as well, if you're not in one of these blackout whatever type markets. But this is primetime football, so you should be able to catch it one way or another if you would like to. Hopefully this isn't a game that you end up going to sleep early on. I have no maps to show you of coverage this week. I have nothing else like that. You just got to hope that the Steelers can come away with the victory and keep pace with the rest of the AFC North who have any sort of chance. They were the very last team at the bottom of the charts of the playoff hunt, and you don't want to see them mathematically eliminated. I know a lot of you are thinking I'm talking crazy here. 7 teams make the playoffs. 7 now. They're saying there's still a chance, okay? That's not just coming from me. That's what they show on the old television, the telly, okay? But that'll do it for me. There wasn't a whole lot else to cover on this game. I'll tell you a little bit more statistics. Why not? Got it here. Steelers are 1-4 on the road this year. Indianapolis is 2-3 in their building. Steelers are 4-6 against the spread, whereas the Colts are 5-6 on the season. The over-under for this game is 39. The Colts are favored -2.5. You've got Pittsburgh's offense, 28th in the league, scoring 17 per game. On defense, they're giving up 24.4, which is 26. So it's 28th and 26th to Indianapolis's 31st on offense in points scored, and they are 11th in points allowed per game. So the Colts, like I said, it looks like it's something that's a little more evenly matched. They're 17th in passing. They are 26th running the ball. A lot of that has to do with Jonathan Taylor being banged up a lot during this point of the season. The Steelers are actually marginally better running the ball at 22nd, but they are 23rd in passing. But just we're talking about passing yards per game. We're talking about like 18 yards difference per game. So there's not a whole lot when you're talking about where they're ranked. The Steelers are 6 spots between them, and we're talking about 18 yards, which could be one completion, one solid completion, maybe 2 in a Matt Canada offense for this game. Defensively, the Steelers are the worst in the league right now, giving up 272 yards defensively against passers. They're 7th against the run with 103, whereas the Colts, they only give up 194 yards in the the air. They're 7th. They have a very solid secondary. They're 11th against the run, 113. So defensively, they've been stronger than they have been offensively. So that's why your over-under is 39. I was almost going to jump off of here without mentioning some of the odds and some of these other things. So just wanted to mention that. Actually, I might have an update on the injury report too. I'm seeing a little bit of different information with Kwity Paye and Jelani Woods. They're marked as out here, but I could have swore that the Colts website had said everyone was full strength. So just make an extra note of that. I apologize if I got that information wrong, but you know what? I have conflicting information here. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? But that'll do it for me here at Steel City Underground Podcast, the cheat sheet edition. You want a little bit more analysis in depth into this game, head back and check out the archives. Also reposted Terry's WTF podcast because too much turkey and a little bit too much of the adult bubbly. And I posted the same show again from previously earlier in the week. So she had another episode that came out. I know some of you probably went over and looked at that and said, what the hell are you doing? And that's me. That's all on me. I'm the one that put that up, and I accidentally put up the wrong audio file for that. So go back. The audio's fixed. It's a Thanksgiving edition covering those 3 games, a little extra leftovers for you football fanatics who maybe some of you are listening to this headed back to, to the grind earlier, after a nice extended holiday weekend. Once again, thank you for joining us, watching, listening, wherever you may be, supporting Steel City Underground. My name is Joe Kuzma, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we encourage our viewers, listeners, supporters, our 2%ers to hang with us on each and every one of these shows. As always, we encourage you to be safe, be good, and we'll catch you later.
We would like to thank you for listening and remind our listeners to follow us on social media and our website, www.steelcityunderground.com.